What a world, this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast. I'm your homeboy WordPlay TJ, and I'm joined by my homie Icarus Gray. We deliver to you a dope conversation where we talk about everything for no reason at all. Tune in every week just to hear that conversation. And without any further delay, this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy WordPlay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
We back.
So, yeah, we're back for this week, whatever that means. It's like, yeah, we're back
for this week. You know, like man, we say this a lot, especially with these first 3 episodes that we've been able to get out. But life, man, it's a bit of a hassle when you're trying to work a 9 to 5 while working your dreams, which it makes it a lot more understandable. Your side of, like, when I was like, no, we shouldn't do it. I mean, yes, you do kind of have to let that work for who you are and where you are. But when you get to the point to where it's like you can't even spend the time to do the thing that you're wanting to do, that's when it's like, okay, you know, diving
like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Right. Like, something has to give at some point. And that's the crux of it. Mm-hmm. How do we get to that point, and how do you pick what gives? And how do you not be in a situation where you're having to pick what gives? So yeah. That's what we're kind of working towards, but it's gonna be a little bit of time. Right?
Yeah, because initially, like, we had, I was at a different job, so I had more flexibility in terms of my time. I think we'd even tried to do an episode of the podcast while I had to work.
Yeah, so that's the blessing and the curse, right? That's the curse is that you lose time, but you're gaining income. Yeah. So it's like, which one, right? Like, and no matter what, life is always going to be that ridiculous balance. Maybe that's what we can talk about.
Yeah,
today.
We can, especially given the time you guys are hearing this. I will be a week and a day away from my birthday, or my birthday has already happened. It happened on November 4th. Well, by the time y'all get this, my birthday will have already passed. Thank you. I appreciate it. Please, you there in the front. Please calm down. No, but, like, you know what's funny about us talking about, like, these occurrences and the changes in life? Last Saturday was like the start of, okay, we can't record this week. Because we were supposed to, and it's like I bent down at work, and there was like this small fire that started in my lower back, and I'm like,
it's 30s. That's what that is.
But wait, here's my joke that I kept telling them for the rest of the day. I was like, we go back an hour. We don't zoom forward a whole fucking day. Like, if this had been on my birthday, I would have been like, oh, okay, you know, cool. Like, I get it. I'm just getting old. But I'm like, give me 2 days, man. Right. But, like, and it was so excruciatingly painful that I couldn't really do anything.
We're already in the 30s, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's the 30s.
We're there. So therefore, like, these things are going to happen. Yeah. And they're going to happen randomly. Right. Yeah. So just call it the 30s. I get a case of the 30s.
Yeah. And that was like the crazy part about it is just like I had never been in that kind of pain or had that kind of pain in my back, like to where I like couldn't move or anything like that. But what happened the next day is I had to speak at church. My pastor had asked me to give like a little speech or sermon, as everyone else would call them. I don't call them that because I'm not a preacher.
Speech.
And
sure?
you know,
You're not there yet.
I'm sure. I mean, I know that my words have power, and I know that I've been gifted that ability. I'm not going to pretend that I don't have the ability, but I'm saying the manifestation of what I'm supposed to do is not behind a pulpit.
Okay.
Is more so what I'm saying. Whenever I say like, you know, like, are you going to answer your call? I'm like, I am. It's just not in the way that you presume to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not calling me for the pulpit.
He's calling me for the recipe. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Trying to eat.
But like, I got up there and I talked about life and being appreciative of it. I wasn't paying. It didn't matter. I mean, like, 365 is an amazing thing. I don't care whether you celebrate birthdays or not. The fact that you made it a complete revolution around the sun, you know, at least by your time, it's major to me because
major key. I'm just gonna keep dropping ad libs.
The major key, that was great. But the promise of the time that we've had, like, you were guaranteed every day before. Like, that was a moment to live your dreams, to act out your dreams, to learn something, to experience something new. And I was just very thankful in that way. When life gets difficult, we'll say that.
No, that was the perfect expression of it. When life gets
that's the other name of this episode. When life gets you kind of like, especially when you get older, like when you're younger, meh is like having to go to the country for the summer, like, and not be around anything or any malls or anything that you want to really be around. But meh, when you get older,
I'd beg for that now.
But listen, I promise you, like, just to get away, like, all the simplicities, I take it. But now, you know, as an adult, it's like, it's 9 to 5. It's paying the bills. It's, like you said, juxtaposing the 9 to 5 to the dreams and finding the proper balance of sacrifice. You know, finding the proper balance if you're, like, now that we're married men, between it's my turn to chase my dreams, or how can I chase my dreams alongside you while making sure the finances are okay. Because you don't want to be in a position of, like, there's a difference between, okay, we got to eat ramen and drink water for the next 4 or 5 months because I'm trying to make a transition, and we both just, you know, sneaking into Wendy's, getting ketchup packets. Oh,
yeah, you ain't got to sneak though.
Yeah, I mean, well, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
You got to put it in your hand though,
and then just leave and never go up to the front counter. But like, so that there's a bit of an obstacle there. You know, like, and regardless of what Steve Harvey says, even God himself took a day of rest. So, like, you also have to factor in rest and recharging and everything else that you need. If you're haphazardly wasting your time, no, I don't feel sorry for you, or I think that there's some cure-all, be-all to what it is you're doing. Because honestly, there's not. But when it happens like this, you kind of just got to persevere through it. And I'm thankful a lot that we have a different perspective now than what we did then. Like, by life causing us to miss the weeks that we missed, I would have been stressed out. Like, super stressed out. Because I would have been like, oh crap, man, I gotta like.
But where's the balance, right? Like,
yeah,
do we even need the balance?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we do. I feel like you need balance in a lot of things. Like, even if you're jumping off the cliff and just doing your dreams, you still got a balance between recharging. Like we talked before about reconnecting to the source, and whatever that is for you, the longer you go disconnected, especially when you're creating, the more exhausting it is to just do something you love.
Do we know our real limitations though? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
there could be a balance that we haven't yet like yearned for. Or there could be an adjustment to what that balance looks like based off of you hitting new thresholds.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, but those are breakthroughs to me. Breakthroughs come often when you're about to do something amazing. You know, if it's turmoil in a relationship that you've had for a longer time than what you should, if it's financial issues that you never come across, like, you know, losing your job or something like that, if it's you're planning to do an album and everything seems to be getting in the way, there's a breakthrough coming. Most often, the times where we get distracted are the times where we're on the right track. Because you'll know the difference between like a warning sign of this is the wrong thing to do, or at least you should. And okay, I've been trying to work on this album for the last 5 years. And every time something comes up, whether it's having the time to do it, sit down and write, but never losing that fire inside of me to do it, which means that it's not the distractions, it's me allowing them to distract me.
Yeah. Maybe there's an opportunity to plan for balance, right? Like, because I'm in the particular situation that I'm in, now I have to plan my breaks. And that hasn't happened before.
Right.
So, like, for example, same scenario, right? I got to work on an album, or I want to spend time with my wife. Like, I literally have to go through and plan for that to happen because the workload is heavy.
Yeah.
But those things are important to me, super important to me. Right.
Yeah. And you can get so caught up in those things that on either end. So like, it's saying like, hey, I'm going to spend time with my wife. When we spend time, like, and I mean like good time or what I would consider good quality time, I don't do much else. Like, I probably should, but then, you know, the balance is a little skewed because I'm so excited to be getting this time.
Yeah, me and you are the same in that regards, right?
Yeah, like y'all don't even understand quality time. Like for dudes, like I don't even think women understand it to a certain extent in terms of like what it means. Like when a dude is like, "Hey, you, the one I love, I want to spend time with you."
In that voice,
just you. Yes.
Why don't we have seductive music right now?
Hold on one second. Hold on. Wait. Filibuster while I find some seductive music.
Oh, you're gonna find it? Okay.
I'm gonna see. So, I guess. Okay. What?
While
I'm looking, right? Should I find like? Do I have to put into YouTube non-free like what? I don't want this.
I would just do whatever right now because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter with Apple or anywhere else. I don't think it might flag on YouTube when we post it up, but I don't care.
Okay then. Just filibuster. I'm about to get it cracking.
I feel like this is Congress now. It's like I got a filibuster, but that's the thing is
Congress.
I don't even know what to say at this point. It's like,
oh,
let's
get that ad out of there.
That's why you gotta get the premium.
Oh man. Here we go.
Of course, there would be an ad.
Fade it up.
I just bought premium though. I got premium for YouTube because I can't stand the ads anymore.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So basically, when you're looking at your lady, hey girl, hey you, I want to spend time, quality time. We ain't got to watch nothing on TV or online. I just want to sit next to you and pick your mind. And maybe, only then we'll find, if you're so inclined, the true meaning of quality time.
That's how it is, right?
Yeah, like, but
mentally, that's the experience.
But it's really like that. Like, you don't want to do anything because to simply be with a person that you enjoy, it brings you back to, like, you know, when me and you used to like play Pokemon or something. And what I mean by that is it was simple. We had to be in each other's presence to play the game. You know, we couldn't be sitting at home or whatever. And it was just joyful. So the same thing is applied to wanting to spend time with your wife or significant other. You just get this bond of watching TV or just talking, like, hey.
Yeah. And it's not the same if it's like with other people or distracted, right?
Nope.
Like it has to be
for us
that way.
For us.
Yeah, for us. And that's the thing is explaining that those requirements puts you in a place where it's like, yo, this is super specific because I only feel these feelings when it's these variables are checked.
Yeah, and that's because the thing about a dude asking for that simplistic quality time, or specifically us, I should say, this is meant to recharge. I ain't trying. It seems
counterculture, right?
Yeah.
For it almost seems like the opposite should be asked by the opposite gender.
Yeah. It seems like we should be the ones like asking for whatever, but it's different. Just because, like, when I'm next to my wife, that's a recharging for me. Because it's simple. Like, this person loves me for me. She knows me, who I am, what I can be, what's expected of me, blah, blah, blah. But she's not pressuring me to anything. It's a presence. It's this feeling of passionate enlightenment. And what I mean by that is when you're with the person that makes you feel like your dreams can come true, so on and so forth, looking at them in a simplistic form reminds you of why you do the things that you're doing. Exactly. That you want more. I want more of this. So to get this, I have to go and work and do this.
Right. That's where my mind is in that situation. And like, she's my opportunity, or when that situation is happening, that's the only way that I could truly recharge. Outside of sleep, I don't feel that. Even in sleep, like, I don't feel that recharge.
And like, here's the reason why I say a specific way, because a lot of the time, quality time for them is catching up on everything that we're supposed to be watching together, or
could be
like watching a movie, and my wife specifically, because of her filming and acting stuff. She always wants to watch movies. Always. And I hate doing it only because movies are a commitment.
Well, that's where I don't feel the same way, right?
Yeah.
It's more about, are we doing the same activity together? So
I'm trying to get there.
And it's just us. That's usually my only parameter. And it's a lengthy amount of time. It's not just like 1 or 2 hours and then to bed. Like it's a significant chunk of time.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I need to get there. That will be a lot better for me. Because she has a million movies that she wants to either show me or that she enjoys or just, whatever. Majority of the time, only reason, like I said, it's such a commitment because like you said, if we end up faced with that 2 hours, then that's like the whole 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm a person who I watch movies. If you put on a movie, it's time to watch it. And we got to watch it through to the end. I ain't gonna Netflix and chill through a movie. Well, not now.
Focus.
Yeah. So like being proposed with a movie versus a 30-minute TV show or something, I'm always picking the TV show. Cause like we can watch an episode and I can stop and be like, okay, now let me spend 30 minutes with you. But like I said, I'm working more towards being like you in that aspect of things. Because the balance.
I mean, but do you even need to? Right? Like,
well, yeah, because the balance of, well, mostly because it's her love and her passion is that, and I'm trying to share in that.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Because that's like where her passion lies is in these movies, because she's watching it not just from a viewer's perspective or a consumer's perspective. She's watching from an artist's perspective. She's watching from an actor's perspective. She's watching from a director's perspective. So like she's seeing the different shots that she can also create. And, to get a piece of it. Now, do I have to like fully understand it? No, because that's just that's not my bag. That's not how I create. I'm a creative, sure. So there are aspects of it that overlap. But yeah, I'm just working towards that. And life leads you to the place where you kind of got to balance those things. Like for me, I can get by watching YouTube every day. No TV, just YouTube. Or I could get by every day just playing my Switch and reading a book. Real simple stuff. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like she's a little bit more outdoorsy. Whereas like if all four of us were together, we would have to go out and do something. We didn't get to this last time because, schedules and whatnot. But like, had schedule permitted, we would have gone out and did a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I want to kind of shift gears and think about like what balance means to us particularly. Ooh. Right? Because for me, balance is from a subjective standpoint different than other people's idea of balance.
Well, let's start there. What is your idea of balance?
So my idea of balance is making sure that I rest when I feel like, I'm just done, right? Mm-hmm. And not pushing it any further than that being done. So if I feel like I am in the midst of being too overexerted, then I'll stop whatever I'm doing, right? It doesn't matter where the exertion is coming from, right?
Right.
I'm just gonna stop. But for me, and this is where it gets a little iffy between my perspective and others' perspective, is that the work for me is like a hobby. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Because I think I'm pretty much going to say something similar when I say what my structure of balance is. But that definitely makes sense because it's like work is the back burner thing that I do to keep lights on, but it's not the thing that is driving me. It's just supplying.
for me, like, so for others, it may be going out or doing, something or another. But like for me, like I really feel energized by doing work, which is, which is like very counter to a lot of people's perspectives, right? Because work is a living or chore or something. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily carry a negative connotation. It's just not leisure.
Well, but specifically, you're also go ahead.
Yeah, work is leisure for me, unless it's my actual 9 to 5.
Yeah, but specifically, you're also, like I was about to, doing what you love. That's different.
True.
Like there's work involved that you have to do around anything that you love, but it's still a leisure activity because majority of the time you're extremely gifted at whatever it is. And there's an excitement about the process. So, yeah.
Yeah. So what about you?
Me, balance is being able to interact with the world around me. A lot of times a 9 to 5 can take that from you in ways that you don't even realize. Like when it gets to a point where it's like, say there's a Taco Tuesday or whatever, and like you really want to go, you enjoy the Taco Tuesday, like you go out and you have fun on that time, but you got to kind of start picking and choosing a lot of the things that you get to interact with, or you can't interact with things. So having the balance of like, okay, Monday through Tuesday, like say we're doing a podcast Monday through Tuesday, or Monday through Wednesday, I should say, because Monday through Tuesday, that's 2 days. Anyway, if we were doing it those 3 days and we said, all right, we're going to get up at 12, we're going to record at 1 to 3 o'clock. After 3, if about an hour, 30 minutes of putting the post together or something like that, I'd want to be able to go get something to eat, choose where I go to eat, sit, enjoy the food, not just have the food just shoveled in my mouth because I have more work to do. But then at the end of the day, just kind of be able to spend time with family, friends, whoever. But to have those things in a balanced state so I can make sure everything is needed. So it's not out of like the hardest thing now is I'm only going to get Thanksgiving and Christmas off, which is normal for most people, and New Year's or whatever. And the thing will end up being, life is meh. The thing will end up happening is me and Kanae will have to try and force feed all of the people that we want to go see. That's always difficult for me. And it's always difficult because you're splitting those things even further than what you were probably already splitting them before you got together. Because you have people that you want to see. She has people that she wants to see. And you got to kind of find a way to either not see people and then like see people, in Christmas or whatever the case may be. Or you end up having like this long day that I hate the most, which is cramming. I hate cramming. Like,
yeah,
when it's like, I'm about to like, all right, okay, baby, let's eat these oyster crackers and drink some water and we back at it. Like,
yeah,
meh.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Meh. Right. So balance for me in a simple sentence is just having time to actually know that there's a world around you. That's it. And that's very difficult given the structure of the 9 to 5, especially getting a wage that would pay for the things you need to pay for. Anyway,
I just think that that's a delicate tightrope, right?
Right.
And it's a tightrope because at any point in time, things can change. And so that puts you in a position to have to adjust what balance really means. And to the point that I was making earlier, like in some cases, I believe that we're in a situation where balance needs, like, you're going to hit different thresholds for your balance, right?
Right.
You're going to need balance at different points in time in your life. And so when you're not really at a point that you want to be, sometimes you have to be a little less balanced, right?
Right. But
Or
you
schedule
understand,
that.
but that's still balance because you're understanding what it is you're doing. Like I have to
Gotcha.
change my center point because I want to get to a more balanced way of being in this way. So right now I'm going to lean the scale over here so I can get back to center. But I know that I have to do that versus being put in a place where you don't even know if you're going to get that opportunity. A lot of times you kind of have to take that opportunity, but
yeah. And that's the thing is, I feel like that off-centered kind of position is like chasing the carrot, so to speak. Right?
oh,
It's like,
man,
don't kick the ball down the road once you get there,
yeah,
right? Because a lot of people do that. They become successful or whatever it may be, and then the next thing you know, they're changing they kick the goal down the way a little bit more, right?
yeah.
And so now they're still in that uncentered place. When is enough? Like, when is it going to be enough?
Right, because you get caught up in you lose the dream and get caught up in the capitalism of it. Like that's just a thought. Like success breeds that kind of thinking, because like you said, the balance was you had 20% to give to this, while you were giving 80 to this, so you could save up money for that 20. That 20 then started to become successful, so you could take that 80 down to 70, bring the 20 up to 30, so on and so forth on down the line.
But that's the hard part too, right?
Yeah.
It's the 80-20 rule, which applies to most all things, right? Like 20%, the 80% of things that you do are not going to be necessarily successful. It's mostly going to be successful from the 20%. And that applies to time too, right? There's 20% of your time that's only going to be leveraged towards that success in most cases.
Right.
Now I don't know if that's the 80-20 rule is science, but it seems plausible and it seems true.
Well, you think about it like this. The thing about it is people will then get caught up in that, or where we misstep, I should say. We use that 20, it gets successful, and then we're like, okay, well, let me add 30 more. And then it's like, well, you reached a high level of success, and now you're messing up the balance. Because now you'll invest 50 expecting, it to shoot and skyrocket even further. But it was the things you were doing in the 20 at the 20 that made it successful.
Right. And so the extra 30 that you're doing is not going to make any difference. Right.
Yeah. Not in the grand scheme of things, like, especially if you're only like trying to double your workload.
Or it may come down to another different 20%.
Yeah.
Right. So you're just finding the 20 again.
Yeah. And that's like, sometimes you get lost on that road because it will divert you from the fact that what you did to get yourself to be successful, it will evolve, it will change. So don't mishear me. But when you start changing the formula in extreme ways, because like, oh, this worked, you can sometimes lose the gift or lose the talent that you were put to do there in the first place, because you start to convolute what that 20% was. You start to convolute the simplicity of the balance. because it's like you kind of forget, like, okay, so you might say, okay, I'm working this 20% of my dream or whatever, so I can like only work on my dream. Then you get your dream and you fill your whole time with it in a way that disconnects you from everything else, meaning, you know, your family and rest or whatever.
Yeah.
You made it at 20%.
Yeah.
So
and then that comes down to like conversations that we had in the past, and we need to redefine successful.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to get to that point, because if success is just, okay, I can make more and more money, then again, you'll never stop. Right. You'll never know what it is to rest or how to balance family life alongside the aspirations growing. You'll never be able to, you lose connection to the people. You lose connection even to yourself at that point. You see it all everywhere. I think Kanye is the perfect example in and of himself of fame disconnecting you from your pain, disconnecting you from your mental status, and just making you feel like you can't go wrong. Like sometimes it can give somebody like a new light. So say you put out an album, no one liked it, they thought it was trash, whatever the case may be, that's opinion. But still, it might give you this thought like, oh, okay, well, I gotta try this, or I gotta go back to this, but I'm gonna evolve it to this. Like you can kind of get that. But when you get to like the Kanye level, it's like people are gonna swear by it no matter what. Yeah. So you end up in this place where, can he truly grow?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think we can talk about this at a later time. But like, when you're pre that level, right? When you're before that level of whatever you want to call it, you're not given that benefit of the doubt, right?
No, not at all.
So I think we should go ahead and say salud. Is that the right?
Salud? I think that's hello.
Know. That's not it.
Like hello. You just told him hello. Salud.
Au revoir.
Or cheers. Au revoir. Au revoir. Anyway,
adieu.
We are glad to be back again, and we hope that somewhere along the lines in the comments or anywhere that you're seeing this, talk about how you find balance. Talk about the ways in which you do a lot of things to kind of reassert yourself, reassess the things you need, because I guarantee you that how you might do something could probably help somebody in the way that they're wanting to change too. Could probably even help us. Who knows? Anyway, this has been the No Rhyme or Reason podcast with your boy Icarus Gray.
Hold on just 1 second. I wanted to institute something. I didn't have time to text you.
Oh, what's up?
Tell people how they can find you on the gram.
Ew. Follow me at Icarus_Gray, because somebody that has Icarus Gray who does not use their account. Icarus_Gray on the gram. Icarus Gray at Twitter. Icarus Gray on Facebook. And I think Icarus Gray on Snapchat, but I don't really use my Snapchat, so.
Yeah. Everywhere you can find me is at WordPlay TJ. WordPlay TJAY.
So please check us out. Comment, talk to us. We do talk back. And yeah, man.
Unless you're a troll.
Yeah, if you're a troll, no, we don't talk back. Like, and if we do talk back, you getting clapped at. Pow. That was a bar, I guess. Anyway, I've been watching too much battle rap. This has been the No Rhyme or Reason podcast with your boy Icarus Gray.
And your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And we'll see you guys next week. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. Peace. No Rhyme or Reason is an On the Map music group production.